Joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show is the head coach of the defending AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Pederson, back here. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing fine, Rich. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, great to have you on. So where are you? We just chit-chatted on the Roku channel audience for the TV audience about what's going on personally. Football-wise, where are you? And what phase are you in? You're in OTAs. What do you got for me on that front right now?
Yeah, no, we just finished up our sixth OTA. We have 4 left next week. So we're wrapping things up here. We got about a week and a half, 4 days next week, and then 3 mandatory that veteran mini camp at the end. So we're about 7 practices from being done, and guys are, we've had great participation. Guys are working extremely hard, and it's been a good off season for us.
Okay, so what do you get out of an OTA, Doug? What do you get out of it?
Not much. To be honest with you, it's obviously by league rule. There's not a lot of contact or physicality. So we do a lot of individual work, a lot of I'm not going to say one-on-ones, but one-on-one coaching with players, and really detail their skill that way. We do some team stuff, but I slow the pace down so we don't have collisions and things like that out on the practice field. And really, I just want to see the mental side of the game, right? Guys going in the right direction, the offensive line headed in the right spot, defense is fitting the right gap, and we can do that and slow the pace down. We can see that as a coaching staff. And then for the young guys that we have, the new players to our team, how well do they take the information from the classroom out onto the practice field? We're not out there more than about an hour and 30 minutes each day, but still getting some good overall, work with both the vets and the young guys.
Doug Pederson here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what's the leap for Trevor Lawrence? We saw, obviously, what happened last year, and you and I spoke during the regular season, and you said an inflection point was a long afternoon for him in the UK and London, and he said he wasn't going to make many mistakes like that anymore, and he learned quite a bit from it. We saw what happened in the playoffs last year, first half. That was a nightmare. Big win, and then a scare, and you put a scare in the Chiefs for sure. What do you look at the leap for Trevor Lawrence now, Coach?
Yeah, I think going into his year 2 with us as a staff, I think the way he played the back half of the season is the way he needs to start this year. There was a lot of confidence at the end of the year with him, and that's the next phase, right? It's putting all of that together, and we feel, or I feel too, like he's the guy that which he showed towards the end of the year. He can put the team on his back, and we don't want him to throw 4 picks and then throw 4 touchdowns. We'd rather him just throw the 4 touchdowns and win a football game. But he can do that. He's capable of putting the team on his back and finishing a football game and potentially winning. He did that against Baltimore. He did that against, obviously, the Cowboys. That was more of a pick-6 walk-off there. But, did some things late in the season that proved to us that, he's our guy, and we're excited about that. And so for him to take that next step is just having that confidence, the way he ended the season, and start this year that way, and try to come out with a fast start and finish faster.
Where does he, just in terms of mental aspect, leadership aspect, you just seeing the intangibles, having the front row seat you do, Coach Doug Pederson of the Jaguars here on the Rich Eisen Show, the I guess confidence that comes with having a seat at the table with Mahomes, Burrow, and Allen. He had that 4th seat last year for the Final Four in the AFC. Does that manifest in any way? Do you see it at all?
I do see it. I think he's chasing that. I think he's close to putting himself, with that group, and he's very capable of putting himself with that group. Those guys have, obviously, they've got a couple years experience on him, but he's heading in that right direction, and I think the AFC is in good hands overall with the youth at quarterback, and we've got one of those guys. We feel really confident in Trevor, but yeah, he's working to, with the skill and ability that we've been able to provide him and put around him. That's the next step, getting himself into that conversation, and he started doing that at the end of last season. And again, those are the things that, as we head into training camp this July and August, that's the growth. That's the the leadership that we've seen. It just now has to continue to manifest itself each and every day.
Yeah, and you're the only franchise in the division that didn't draft a quarterback, Doug. You know, everyone else did and might actually play the kid. He could wind up being the dean of the AFC South by week 1. Entirely possible. You know,
it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. You know, and you know, obviously you keep your eye on your division opponents and see what they do in the draft and through free agency, and you know, it's just something that we have to understand, that we've just got to continue to worry about the Jacksonville Jaguars, get better every day, and not worry too much about our opponents that way, and we've got to get our guys prepared and ready. So, but we're excited. You know, we're looking forward to obviously Calvin Ridley joining the group, and you know, getting him going a little bit, and you know, just adding that talent around Trevor, and just seeing where things can go.
Yeah, let's talk about Calvin Ridley a little bit here, Doug. Whatever you're willing to you know, share, and pry open the OTA if you're not you know, the practice door a little bit here, because we're focused, you know, on in the media. Odell is new in Baltimore, and DeAndre Hopkins is going to be new somewhere else, and all these young kids that got drafted at the wide receiver position, and you get Calvin Ridley, and I don't think anybody's talking about that kid at all. How is he looking to you, Doug?
He looks, gosh, he looks extremely healthy. He looks fast. He's quick. He's you know, physically he's in a good headspace. You know, physically where he's at. You know, we understand he's, you know, he sat out the suspension. You know, he missed a bunch of football and had some injury there in Atlanta. But you know, for us as a staff too, he's one of those guys you just want to bring along. He's chomping so much and so bad, right? He wants to get to the regular season. And we're like, whoa, pump the brakes. Let's get through this off-season program. But he's been a great addition to the receiver room, a veteran guy. You know, with Christian and Zay and you know, Jamal Agnew in there, and you know, just a kid that really is hungry to play football again. And you know, he definitely owns up to his mistakes and what he's done in his past, and he's put that behind him. And you know, he's in a good place, and we're excited to get him and continue to let him work with Trevor.
Doug Pederson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about your schedule a little bit here. A big division game to start things off. And again, as I mentioned, how your quarterback could wind up being the dean of the division, even though he's in year 3, as you pointed out, just year 2 with you and your current staff at Indianapolis. And it could be Anthony Richardson, who knows. And then you got Kansas City in your house in week 2. I mean, how big do you think that's just going to be in your building? Home opener, a rematch of the playoff game from last year, Mahomes coming in. What do you think that's going to be like, Doug?
Well, number one, I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere, you know, for our fans here in Jacksonville, and obviously the Super Bowl champs, you know, coming in here for our home opener. It's going to be a big game, you know. But as you said, we open up with Indy. I mean, we've got, you know, 2 division games in the first 3 games. You know, first 3 weeks. So, you know, we've got our work cut out for us, but Kansas City obviously is one of the teams that if we're going to be where they are, you know, we've got to play better. We've got to play smarter football, and I didn't think we necessarily finished that divisional game last year very, very smart. We had a late turnover that cost us some points there, and you know, so it's a benchmark game early in the season for us, and where are we as a football team? Where is our quarterback early in this season? And those are all the things that you know, we just mentioned a couple minutes ago about the quarterback, and you know, how he leads and comes out of the gate fast, you know, and it's an exciting schedule to start for us. And then you follow that up with two London games, you know.
Yeah, what's your plan for what's your plan going to be for that? I mean, do you got a spot?
Well, we plan on staying over there,
yeah,
you
know,
course. And you know, the first game, you know, we'll leave like we normally do on a Thursday and play the Falcons first game, and then we'll just stay in London and practice and get ready for Buffalo in the second of the, you know, the 2 games. So, you know, it's we're excited for that. You know, our owner is obviously a big, you know, with his businesses and everything that he does in the UK. I mean, it's exciting for him, and and he's a benchmark over there, in London, and we're excited to be playing 2 games, one in Wembley and the second one in Tottenham.
So you're going to have a facility, like a practice schedule set up for you're just going to set up shop, or you're going to go see the Crown Jewels too, or what? What else you got? what do you got planned?
No, I probably won't. The guys might, but
okay.
We're just going to set up shop. In that week 2, we'll have a full week over there. And we'll treat it just like a normal week, as if we're in Jacksonville. So we don't let these types of things become distractions for us.
Sure.
And, we understand too. Listen, it's the Buffalo Bills. Week 2, so another benchmark game for us. To live up to some of the expectation and some of the hype that surrounds. Obviously, Buffalo, Kansas City. We got Cincinnati later in the season.
Yeah.
So. Baltimore's in there. It's just a schedule when you win the AFC South, no different than when, I was with the Eagles and you win that NFC East. It comes with a first place schedule and first place opponent. So we're excited for that. Great opportunity for our team and our franchise.
Yeah, you're going to be away from home 4 out of 5 weeks because again, I know there are home games for you technically on the schedule, but you're going to be in London for a full week. You come home, you got Indianapolis, then you're at New Orleans on a Thursday night, short week at Pittsburgh, and then a bye. So I guess you're going to get your luggage out. Doug, get
some new luggage.
I know. That's pretty much it.
We're gonna log some miles.
For sure. All right, last one for you, Coach. The new kickoff fair catch rule. Where do you stand on that?
My feeling on that. And obviously it'll play itself out, I think, as the season unfolds. I think it becomes situational. I think it becomes possibly weather-related, weather-driven. I think teams that have dynamic return guys, it's not going to affect. I look at our guy and Jamal Agnew and some of the returns he had late in the season. I don't think it's going to affect him. I just think for us, we play it normal, and it's a tool that could be used maybe in a game time situation, or maybe potentially to. If a team is kicking off, or if a team is behind and they're kicking off to you, maybe you fair catch that, right, and give yourself the 25-yard line to maybe finish the game in a 4-minute mode or something, something of those along those lines. But I just don't see it really playing out a whole lot.
Really? You don't see it being any different than what we're currently seeing in the NFL?
No, I just think you have to evaluate your special team. I think each team's going to evaluate their special teams units.
Yes. You're
going to evaluate your kickers. How well do your kickers kick off? Are they kicking it? If they're kicking it deep anyway, teams are going to stay in the end zone. They're still going to get the ball to 25.
Right.
But I think the teams that have those electric special teams units, it's still an exciting play in football.
Okay.
It was exciting for us last year at the end of the year with Jamal ripping returns out past the 40-yard line and things like that. So I just think it's team by team, case by case that you'll see it a little bit. But again, teams that have those returners, man, don't take the ball out of their hands.
So you're going to basically tell your guy full steam ahead. Ball on the 12, take it. Ball on the 2, take it. Like it's just as if there's been no rule
Rich,
change.
You got to understand. I think the league average was just north of the 25-yard line. Field position, start a drive. So it's, it doesn't make what's a yard, what's 2 yards in the big picture, big scheme of things. But if the ball is kicked to the 10-yard line, you should be out past the 25 with no problem. Even the 5-yard line with your return unit. So again, I think it's case by case, team by team. Who's back there returning it for you? I think who's kicking the ball off for you are all decisions that we'll have to make as we get closer to the season.
Yeah, your guy Andy Reid was saying, you keep doing rules like this, you might as well play flag football, which for Andy is like a full-on tantrum.
That is a tantrum.
That's a full-on Andy Reid tantrum where he just doesn't. Yeah. He's still whispering what he's saying. But to say that sounded like that's a full Andy Reid tantrum when he said that, Doug.
He did, I know. And but I agree. I agree with him, and I think it's I don't know if it's the player safe and health and safety, all of that. I just don't know how much of that really plays into this. I mean, it's a great play. It's an electric play. It's a dynamic play, and again, with guys that are electric with the ball in their hands, it's an exciting play for the fans as well.
Doug, have a great summer. You mentioned in our TV only segment you got grandchildren on the way. Congratulations in advance of that.
Thank you.
And let's chat again soon. Let's chat again.
Certainly. Yeah, let's do it.
Truly,
I appreciate you, Rich.
Right
Thanks
back.
so much.
Appreciate you too. That's Doug Pederson, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the AFC South champion. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.